What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new video. Now today you join me for another car review. As you can see behind me, we have the all-new Mercedes CLA. Now this is the pre-facelift, by the way, and we're going to be doing a review on it. Big thanks to Mercedes Mercurius, which is the local Mercedes-Benz dealership out here in Zanin. Now I really do hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get right into it.
As I woke up one morning, just thinking about this night. As I woke up one morning, just thinking about this night. As I woke up one morning, just thinking about this night.
Okay, so the CLA. Now the CLA is part of the A-Class platform. It sits alongside the A-Class itself, the GLA, and then there's also, of course, the CLA. It's a more stylish approach to the platform and it adopts this coupe kind of look, but while still being a four-door. Now up front, you have this shark nose kind of look where everything sort of points inwards and outwards. It just helps make the car look very aggressive. The CLA gets the AMG power domes, and these make a huge difference in how aggressive the car looks. You have its own unique LED style lights with this L-shaped DRL. There's also a little flick DRL at the bottom, which looks really nice. This one, being the AMG line, gets the diamond style grille, and overall the front bumper is more aggressive, being the AMG line. Coming around to the side, you have AMG specific wheels, but this one has the optional 19-inch rims. A standard comes with 18-inch rims, and they do look lovely, these multi-spoke gloss black wheels, and I do love them. I love how they have an AMG badge embroidered onto them. That is really cool. Now this one is also spec'd with the night package. With that, you get the gloss black mirrors. There's also gloss black surrounds around the window frames and all. Now this is the party piece of the CLA, the coupe kind of roof line, and it's not the only party piece about the CLA. I'm here to show you guys my favorite part about the CLA. But at the back, it adopts a more sedan type of look, but to me this looks more like a baby AMG GT 4-door, and they've really nailed it. It's an amazing looking car. It looks sexy, and yeah, it's beautiful. CLA 200 model designation, LED tail lights, and yeah, fake exhausts down there, but nothing much to say about that. Before we get into the interior, the main party piece for me personally about the CLA is the frameless doors, and they just look absolutely cool. I'm just going to open both of them. Just give me a moment. And as you can see, the whole door is just frameless with the windows rolled down. It has this coupe kind of door look, and yeah, it just looks so cool. This is really amazing looking. Now I'm just gonna shut the passenger door before we jump into the interior. With that being said, let's actually jump into the interior. Okay, so the CLA interior. Now I'm so happy to be back into this interior because, as you guys know, through all the different types of Mercedes-Benz cars that we've reviewed, I think this is literally class leading interior in terms of the design, the overall quality, and the wow factor. And the same applies to the CLA. Now this being the AMG line, let's first touch upon those AMG line touches. For one, you get AMG specific floor mats, and they have an AMG lettering or badge on them, and that's really cool. You get these AMG specific seats, and they just look so cool. The way they are this one piece, the way they're curved, the Alcantara, the red stitching, and yeah, seats look great. As we go on with the AMG line touches, the steering wheel is also an AMG steering wheel. It also has some red stitching and perforated grip points, and yeah, lovely looking steering wheel. And it has these metallic effects, which yeah, they look very accurate. It actually looks like real metal. Really cool. Now I'll jump into the quality of the interior next. The dashboard itself, there's this rubbery material which is also kind of perforated, and it does feel really good to the touch. There's also leather on the top of the dashboard. There's also some nice well-lined stitching, which is in red AMG line, by the way. Now the air vents, these jet style type of airplane vents, whatever, yeah, with the ambient lighting glowing at night, it just creates this atmosphere that is just amazing. Now next I'll touch upon the infotainment system, because again I'll say the infotainment system on this car, ooh, I hope the music doesn't come on. Okay, I've shut it up. The infotainment system in this, for one, it's easy to navigate. The menus are very clear, you don't get lost, and it's well laid out. The response is so good, you can easily find what you want, and the graphics, all of that, beautiful. It also has some audio feedback, kind of almost haptic feedback in a way, but the vibration is very little, but it works really well. So it works by touch if so you wish, but there's also this haptic feedback type of touchpad at the bottom, and they've actually done away with this in the facelift A-Class and the CLA itself, and I don't know why, because they've left a very awkward space in those cars, but in here you still have the touchpad. And there's also this digital driver instrument cluster, which again, actually let me just put the car on for a bit. Again, great resolution, great menus, the graphics look amazing, and there's a whole host of stuff that you can display here. And what I like is that this is really customizable. You can really mix up menus, switch this and that, basically lay it out whichever way you want. You can display some info like fuel consumption information, driver data, media information, whatever you want, it's all here. It's done well. And you can also change to different displays. There's classic, there's sport, there's one which is very minimalistic, I forgot what it's called. There's understated, I guess understated is the one I was looking for. But yeah, you can change to different styles, whatever you feel like. And yeah, let's actually jump into the back seat to check out the space there. Okay, stop button is on the left side. So back seat. Now with the coupe styling, you sacrifice a bit on practicality, because the roof line is so curved, it does eat into a bit of the headroom. But I'm about average height, so I do have plenty of headroom, and also legroom is quite decent. But for very tall people, say 6 foot tall, it might be a bit cramped up. But another thing I always mention is how these seats are curved in, which does help give you that extra legroom and knee room rather. There's also plenty of space to stretch out, although I noticed the transmission tunnel is a bit tall-ish, although it's quite narrow, so it'll still be easy to clear it. Well, relatively easy. Say if you want to sit on the middle seat, it's not too bad, but it does hinder you a bit. But otherwise, back here it's also very lovely. It's nice, the Alcantara, the leather, the red stitching, and the seats still do look sporty with the headrest looking like it's lifted from the front, and it's very nice. There's also this armrest if so you wish. There's also these pop-out cup holders, which is, yeah, quite neat. Is there through loading? Doesn't seem so, but hey, that's that. But yeah, that's the back seat. So the CLA boot space, now this is 460 liters in capacity. To put things into perspective, the A-Class only has 370 liters boot capacity. Something like a Golf has 380, a Polo has like 350. But this being a sedan style and not a hatch, it's quite less practical for loading stuff in and out, because the height is actually quite short. But what you lose in height, you gain in length. The boot itself is very long, but it is less practical than, say, a hatch. The lining back here is actually very nice and premium. You do get stuff like a first aid kit, which is, yeah, quite nice of them. And there is some underfloor where you get some tire repair kits. I'm not sure if you can get these with like a spare wheel, but I doubt. because you can upgrade the sound system to the Burmeister audio system, and that's where the subwoofer would be located, down here. But yeah, otherwise there's actually a lot of space down here. Like, look at all of this. Loading lip is a bit big, but nothing too hectic. And yeah, that's your lot. Also, it's quite awkward to close the boot because this handle, you can't really grip onto it, so you end up having to put your hands on the body itself. Yeah, that's that. Okay, trim levels are very simple and straightforward. Your base trim is called the Progressive, and then you can upgrade to the AMG line, which is this car, for about 30,000 rands. Now, amongst these trim levels, you can choose stuff like different wheel styles, but you only get 18 inches and 19 inches. But like I said, it's different styles and designs and so on. And that's your trim levels. Oh, by the way, the car starts from this price, which is very important, of course. Let's check out the engine stats. Okay, so engines and performance. Now, on this pre-facelift, there was a choice of about 3 engines. Now, there's this, which is the CLA 200. It comes with a 1.3 litre turbo 4-cylinder, making 120 kilowatts, which is around 160-ish horsepower, and 250 newton meters of torque. There's also the CLA 220D, which comes with a 2 litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder as well, making 140 kilowatts, which is around 190 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. Now, on the pre-facelift, they used to offer the CLA 250, and that made about 160 kilowatts, 2 litre turbo 4-cylinder, by the way. But I think that engine is actually discontinued, and that's pretty much all your engines. And all cars, by the way, come with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and they are all front wheel drive, which is, yeah, pretty much your lot in the sense of engines. There's also the AMG cars, of course, the CLA 35 and the CLA 45S. Both cars have a 2 litre turbo 4-cylinder, north of 300 kilowatts in the 35 variant, and 225 kilowatts in the CLA 35, and 310 kilowatts in the 45S. Now, the numbers are a lot, everything is mixed up. I'm pretty sure you guys can understand, and let's actually experience how this car drives. So guys, you joined me inside the CLA and we're gonna go for a drive. First thing I'll do is to remind you guys how cool this car is. The roof line, the doors, I think it's just a great looking. I'm more into hatches, but I think I can make an exception with this car. So for this platform, the A-Class platform, I think the CLA might be the way to go because it just looks incredible. Now, something that I've noted and which really excites me about this car is the throttle response. It's so sharp, and I'm driving in its normal mode. I'm driving in comfort mode. Like, just jump into the car, start it up, go for a drive. As soon as you tap onto the accelerator, boom, it feels like it's always within its power band. That is the turbo, so as to say. It feels like it's always spooled up. The engine just feels so racy, and I can't even believe I'm saying this because we're just in a normal car, like I keep on saying. So it's actually a very sporty car to drive. Even the way it turns in, like you can just throw it around, it darts in and out. Like, it's genuinely an exciting car. Like, believe me on that. These Mercedes engines also tend to have ignition cut fuel. Now, what's ignition cut fuel? So ignition cut fuel, what you hear with all these DSG pops, or what you call DSG farts. So during gear shifts where the engine pops or the exhaust pops, that's ignition cut fuel. Where the fuel injectors dip a bit of fuel into the exhaust manifold and it explodes and it pops during gear shifts. So even on this car, it won't be audible on video because it's not loud, but you do get that boom boom just a bit, and it's quite nice. Just a bit. You probably won't hear it on video, but just believe me, it's there. So yeah, okay, another thing that I would have liked, I wish there was a quick way to jump into sport mode, kind of like you get in VW Audi Group, the way drive mode on the gear selector is integrated with sport mode. So when you're in drive, if you flick the lever down once again, it engages sport, and instantly you can get instant response and off you go. But I guess you don't need that in this car because, like I said, the throttle response is so sharp. Even in its comfort mode, you can easily be within the power band. But it would have still been handy to say, quick way, sport mode, overtake, off you go. But guys, my camera overheated for a moment, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll leave Mercedes Mercurius details down in the description below. Do check them out if you are looking for any Mercedes-Benz car. They do have some used cars, new cars, all of that. But yeah, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, that's cheers from me.